But I don't want no tea. It gives me a headache.
Oh, what shall we have then?
Coffee.
Hello everyone. Hey, I'm back. It's been a little while. I've been kind of busy. Been working on the main bottom hull here. And I wanted to show you, but put all these little brackets, and did not use the photo etched ones. I used the plastic ones from the kit. They would only fit with this photo etched fender. They would only fit, so I used those. Hardest part was going through and measuring every one of them for each individual area. You've got tires back here, you've got a water can here, a water can up front. So I'm measuring, but I'm trying to keep them even on both sides, you know, to match. But then I found out later on that you don't need this one because you have a shovel that goes in here with photo etch and a lot of stuff, so I had to break that one loose. I went through hours of measuring, and you can see my lines here. Oops, got that wrong, you know, so it was a lot of work. Also, as you can see, I have the light guards here on the photo etched ones. Let me see if I get a good light shot. There we go. The light guards right here on. This was a pain. I think it's an either infrared light or some kind of light guard. I did make the photo etched one for it, and I'll show it to you real quick. Let's see if I can get it here. It's so hard to grab. It's so small. Here it is. As you can see, I got it together. Problem is when I went to put it on the front here, it wouldn't quite fit properly. So I cut the middle one down a little bit. When I did, I cut it too much. I said, all right, put it back on to try and make it work, and it was still too short to fit over top of the inside piece in here. So I decided to use the plastic one. I sanded it down, did the best I could. The structure here on top, the cover, the photo etched one, I was going to use the photo etched one right here on top of it. It's too short because it goes with the photo etched part. So I couldn't stretch that and make it work, so I put the plastic one on. And I said, okay, well, that's all right. Some things I can't do right now, some things I don't want to do, and I've been trying, so aggravation. I did put the headlights in. They are clear parts, so I will have to mask off the lens itself, then paint the rest of it when I go to primer. I finally used a needle, poked my way through here. That was fun. The needle actually, it got so brittle that it ended up breaking on me after I did the second one. But anyway, too much heat, I think. But I got some wire through there to give it the the lock system on there. And that's about it. Like I said, they got the piece on here with the bracket. That doesn't quite fit, but it's a little crooked, but I don't care. It's bolted down and all that stuff, so it looks pretty cool just a photo etched. They have the plastic one. Of course, the plastic one was too big because this stupid photo etched fender is too small. Dragon's driving me crazy. Ah. Okay. Also, too, when you go to bend stuff, I'll give you a clue. When you go to bend these photo etched pieces here, you know, like this piece and everything like that, if you want a nice round piece, you know, you ever get those packets that have different various size tubings? You get aluminum, you get brass and all that stuff like that. Just take these and use these. Find the size that you need and bend them around this. Makes it so much easier. So I have different various sizes for trying that. I actually had to go a little smaller, but it worked out sweet. So if you have those variety packs of tubing that you get at the hobby store or whatever, just use them for that. They work great. The turret is ready to rock and roll. I got a primer. I'm wanting a primer really bad. Problem is I have to decide for the hatches. There's a little tiny piece that holds this hatch open. That goes right about here. And so I got to paint my figures. Once I paint my figures and I like them, then I'll primer all this, put the hatches on where I want, primer it, and then I can go ahead and paint it. Right now, that's my stopping point. So, same thing with this. I want to primer all at the same time, so I will do that. Then I'll do the black, and then I'll do the chrome silver from All-Clad, and do that. Okay, so that's what I've been doing so far. Let me show you why I have this bread container here from Walmart. I'm going to make a wet palette, and I'm going to show you all how to do it because I need to paint my figures. So they're ready to rock and roll. I think I showed them to you before. So to be able to paint these, I wanted to try something new. So what I did is I bought this, the AFE face painting set, and it is very neat. From what I read on the instructions, it comes with 8 colors, and it's from Vallejo, and it comes with, let me show you, it comes with instructions, it comes with 8 different colors. Now, here is, let's see, light flesh, base skin tone, beige red, brown sand, what's this one? A burnt cad red, black red, a violet red, and a black. So, very interesting colors. I would never have thought all these colors for doing faces. I mean, for me, wow. So, they give you instructions on how to paint them, how to do different ideas, and they actually go into doing this guy tutorial, and this is for bronze flesh, which I'm going to do for my Israeli driver and commando and all those guys. I'm going to use this, and it tells you how to do it in different steps, how to paint them, how to make them look good, all the way to the end, by mixing the colors, using a wash, and all that kind of stuff. Here's the lighter night, here's the pale flesh. So, as you can see, it gives you the instructions for that, which I'm going to try. See, the problem I have, being partially colorblind, doing flesh really sucks for me, really bad. So this will help me out a lot, and so we'll see how it works. I want to be back. I'm going to show you how to make a wet palette. I've been watching people on YouTube, so this will come in very handy for painting these guys, because when you keep your paint wet, instead of drying out so fast, Vallejo does that. I put retarder in there sometimes, but even that still dries out fast. So I'm going to use a wet palette. Supposedly in a wet palette, you can leave it in a container for a day or two and it'll still stay wet. So let me come back and I will show you how to make a wet palette that I've seen how to do. Alright, bye. I'll be right back. Okay everyone, I'm back. I went out and got this last night at Walmart. I saw people using various containers. I wanted something even thinner than this, but then I found this and figured, well, it's a little sandwich holder for people taking their sandwiches to school or lunch or to work or whatever. So it's nice that I can have a lid and I can keep it fresh. I may look in the future and find something. I want something even thinner, so it's easier to reach my brush in when I'm doing stuff like that. Not that this is bad, it's just that that'd be easier to do. Alright, I've got my paint here. First thing you need is a paper towel or a sponge. If you can get a sponge, that's fine. It's thin. I didn't see any last night at Walmart, but I did see in some of the videos that people just use paper towels. So I kind of cut it to shape, fit it in. Oops, hold on. Let me get this in here. There we go. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get some parchment paper. Oh look, I cut it out exactly like this size. Parchment paper is, you get it at Walmart. Reynolds makes it. Other people make it too. It's what you use for baking and stuff. You put it down so that your cookies and stuff like that don't stick. They pull right up. You don't have to worry about anything. But parchment paper, don't use wax paper. Wax paper, do not use. Parchment paper allows the moisture to come up through, but not the paint to go back down in there. And it stays moist. Where wax paper does nothing. I saw a guy try to use wax paper, it didn't work at all. So get some parchment paper. It's real cheap. I think I have $3 or $4 or something like that. Alright, so first thing you're going to do is you're going to take purified water. I buy the Sam's Club stuff at Walmart, but you don't want regular tap water. You don't want stuff you want either. This is purified. This is run through a reverse osmosis system. You could get the only thing closer that's cleaner than this is deionized water, which is pure water, which has no chemicals, no anything in it. This may have a little bit in it, or you could use distilled water too, which is probably a little cleaner than this, about the same. First thing you want to do is pour some water in here, not too much, just enough to wet the towel. Alright. You don't want a whole lot in there. See, it's nice and moist. There we go. Just enough to wet it, keep it wet. Then put your parchment paper down in there. And as you can see, the parchment paper starts getting moist. Well, see, I got a little bit of moisture in there. Oh, got some water down there. That's alright. You just want to get it in your area here where it's just a little damp. See, I can feel the dampness coming through now. Now what's good about that is you can even put a little bit more water. Maybe I'll put just a little bit more water in there. Not much. And let it roll around. Let it get a little damp. Like I said, you don't want a whole lot. You can move it around. Oh yeah, that's really nice. Okay. Maybe a little too much excess. I'll put a little back there. Alright, there we go. Nice and moist. Then all you have to do, let me come back. I'm going to shake the heck out of this. This is brand new. And I'll be back and I'll show you the first layer on my figures. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to paint a bunch. I'm going to put a drop here. I really don't need, well, I'll put a little bit more. There we go. Just need a drop or so. Now, it tells you in the instructions, we're going to do the bronze flesh for this guy, that you need to make sure, and let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. It'll help you. Oops, which way is it? Okay. Let's see if this helps. I got to look at it too, so while I'm painting it. Alright, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Now, it tells you to go ahead and put on 2 thin coats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little water to this. Not too much, just enough where it's just a little watery, but not too much. You want thin coats, but not too thick of a coat, because you put too thick of a coat, you're going to lose all your detail. Alright, that's pretty thin right there. See, that's already on there. Okay, here we go. Just take it, I just a number 5 brush, just a cheap little brush. I'm just going to add in some detail here. Just be careful to, not too thin. You don't want it watery. You just want it enough to get the detail on, get around his neck here. If you get on the clothes, don't worry, we're doing that as a whole separate thing. So all I have to do is get his face, a thin coat on top of this primer. Now, this primer I just used was just a cheap Walmart, I think it was Color Place primer. I think it works fine. And I've found no problems. Now also too, you'll notice sometimes when you're painting this, you're like, well, wait a minute, I get little bubbles or something because you're moving it around so much. So definitely take your time and make sure you get all the little bubbles. Let me see if I can get this down a little bit. There we go. Okay, that helps. Now you can see I'm just pushing away any excess. And I'm going to do his arms too. Let me see if I can see that. Because, this is a base flesh coat. And we want to get his arms all painted and everything. So I'm going to go back down here. Get some more paint. And, oops, a little too much. Just put it on. No big rush. I love this. This is going to be great. I've never done this wet palette, but I've been wanting to try it for a while now. And I was thinking, oh, I have to buy some kind of kit at AC Moore or Hobby Lobby or something like that, but not really. You don't have to. You just make your own out of whatever you have. It's just parchment paper and some, like if you want a sponge or paper towel. That's all you have to do. Save your money instead of buying that expensive. So I saw somewhere at the Michigan Toy Hobby Web YouTube channel, they have a kit that you can buy that does it all, but you really don't need that. Get some more water on this piece. There we go. Hope you can see that. And just get this on. Be a little liberal with it. Not that I'm a liberal, but just get it on there. Thin coat, and you'll be fine. Alright, tell you what I'm going to do. There we go. No brush marks is what you're trying to avoid too. Anything like that. Alright, there's my first thin coat on him. So he looks pretty good. He's got that tan look to him and everything, from what I can see. So that's my commander. And then, oops. By the way, I'm using blue tack to hold these on. Look what happens with blue tack if you let it sit too long. With blue tack, you can remold it. I love blue tack. You can use it for everything. Alright. Basically, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll be back. I'm going to put a couple coats on each of these guys. Thin coats. And to get them that overall tan look. And then we will be doing different things of highlighting and different layers of highlights and depth and everything like that. These guys have got some spectacular faces. I don't know if you can see them. Let me get this light up a little bit higher. I mean, it really, just expressions on these guys are really cool. I really like it. Alright, well, I'll be back after I put a couple layers of this on, and we'll start with the next step. Hey, I'm back. Alright. As you can see, I put the eyes on. I put 2 coats of the flesh in and set on the next step to do the eyes. I use a technique I learned a long time ago, and basically you do an off-white, paint it, then you come down at a straight line. You just come down like this, and then you just touch it up with some more flesh around the bottom of the eyelids and the top of the eyelids, and it kind of turns out like that. And so I did this guy with blue eyes. I did this guy with brown eyes, and this guy with brown eyes. Oops, hold on, let me see if I can get it in the camera better for you. Woo, woo, woo. I keep going opposite direction. Let me see if that helps. There we go. Okay, so I did that. Next step they say to do is take a burnt cadmium red, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna do around the eyes and the nose. So let's see how good I can do this for you all. Let me get my brush wet. Oh, by the way, I'm using a Blick Master Series Master Stroke Fine Red Sable 03. It's a very, very nice brush. It gets very well detailed, for me at least. I mean, everybody uses something different. I like Blick ones. They're like, and it's a sable, so I love sable. It's soft and all that kind of stuff. So let's see if I can zoom in a little bit to help you. Let me go down a little bit. I'll try and do this over top of this so that it helps me get in there. Now, excuse me, you won't see everything, but you know, I gotta really concentrate on doing this. Let me water this down just a little bit extra water. There we go. Okay. Now I'm just going to use a very fine stroke on this thing and just barely touch it. I want to do by the nose. All in the recessed areas. And up by the eyes. Oh, too much. Well, that'll be right. Basically, you got to get in the dark crevices without getting it too much. There we go. Alright, so we got around his eye there without getting too much. Get it in the cracks. Let me get some more paint. Water it down a little bit. Get around his mouth. I said to get in all the dark areas, probably under his lip here. See how under his lip, you know, you kind of want to get, so it looks horrible. Let me see if I can get it better. There we go. See, it looks like junk. Oh, what's all that red stuff all over him? Oh my gosh. Well, that's going to blend out later when we start doing more highlights. Alright, so let me get to the next step. Let me finish the other guys that way, and then I'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Alright, so the next one they say to put on is basic skin tone. Actually, they don't tell you, but the next two highlights, are skin tone and light flesh. So what we're going to do is put a drop in here. Alright, now we don't need much. We're going to highlight all of the, where the sun would be coming down. Let me see if I can get this down like this and help. Where the sun would be coming down straight on. See how it lightens certain areas like that? That's what we're going to do. So let me get some skin tone on here. Get a little wet. And we're just going to highlight the upper areas, like the nose, the cheeks. Let me get some more water in here. I think this is a little too thick. Because we're going to be doing different things with this. I can't probably see. Let me get some more paint on there. Sorry. Between the light and the camera, I'm not having the best of times here. There we go. And let's see, what else? Oops. It was caught on my light. It shows you here that you want to get, like, let me see if I'm in frame for you. You want to get, like, right in here, a little bit right in here, a little bit below the mouth, on the raised areas mainly is what you're trying to do. You get a little bit more water on here. Maybe some on the forehead a little bit. Let me see. Just on the cheekbones here. The raised areas here. So basically what you're trying to do, the highest areas of elevation where the sun would hit. So let's keep doing this a little bit here and there, because this will all eventually get like on his chin. See on his chin, you want that. Basically trying to do all the highlighted areas. We're going to put a wash on this, I think, like that. So, and so it takes a little bit of extra water here. Let me get some more water on here. And you just want thin coats. You don't want thick coats, and you don't want a whole lot on there. You know, you just want to mix it up. Oops, a little too much. Let's try that. All right. Well, let me come back in a little bit, and we'll see how this works out. All right, here we go for the third. Or the second highlight. It's even lighter. So we'll try this. I'm not getting too happy with this. I'm just going to barely touch the areas that, you know, need just a little bit of highlighting. This the highlights of the cheekbones. Like that. I'm not going to do much more than that. Boy, I hope this blending works better later on, or this wash I'm doing later on helps. Okay, just hit the cheekbones, the top highlights. We're going to try that. And see if that works. If not, I'm going to strip these guys and start them all over again. We're going to see how this works out. Alright, so I'm just going to touch just the highlights. Like I said, I'm not the best at doing faces. Alright, boy, that's drastic. Alright, let me read you more instructions on it. I'll be back. Alright, I have taken this guy, and I don't know if you can see or not. Hold on, let me get my blinders off. I have blended him. I took some original color and one of the second highlight, and I started blending this guy. And so far, it's turning out. So I'm going to work with the other ones, and I'll get back to you. This is, I'm just taking, like I said, I'm taking this color, the original color, blending it with this color here. And then I'm kind of blending it on the figure a little bit. Let me see if I can show you. I'll try on this guy. It takes a lot of practice. So I've blended these two. I've watered it down. I've blended these two here. And I watered it down to where it helps me blend. And then what I start doing is I gradually, hope you can see this, it's blinding me over here. I start blending the colors a little bit, smearing them all over, but then it's a little bit on the highlights, a little bit on the edges, and then I start hitting the areas, and what it does, it starts toning them down, but it leaves some of the original color on there. So I'm just kind of blending it around. This guy's a little too dark right here. There we go. There we go. See, it starts to come around the more you blend it. Not too bad. Just takes a little bit of work. So I'm just doing light little strokes. And I'm still going to do a wash on them. So that'll help dull things down, but also do other things like that. So that's not too bad. I said I'm not very good at painting human flesh, but that's not too bad. I'm going to keep playing with it. So I'll get back to you on this. This is, like I said, this is a whole new world for me for playing with this stuff, with this. So we'll give it a try. All right, I'll be back. Okay, everyone. Make this short and sweet. I'll be back with another video. When I get, I'm going to try something new with these. I didn't want the videos being too long. They're already up to 20 minutes or so for this one. I'll be back with another video. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try Future Floor Wax with an ink. This is going to be burnt sienna, which is a reddish brown. I'm going to do that for a wash. I saw it on a YouTube channel somewhere, I forget where, but I'm going to give it a try. So I'll be back in my next video for that. See you soon.